Bless up, everybody. King Kevin back in the building, baby. Now, I know you all have watched the Black Panther movie by now. Today being March 1st, happy birthday to Lupita. She was the one that was the king's girlfriend or became his fiance in the movie, however you want to say it. And she also played 12 Years a Slave. I just want to make sure I said that, got that out the way. So she turns 35 today, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I've been wanting to make a video regarding the movie since I heard about it. I didn't see it until this past weekend when I was out of town in Tampa speaking at an event. But I wanted to make sure that I disclosed and gave props to certain aspects of the movie that I would notice and witness. Now, as you all know, if you're watching YouTube, if you're on social media, everybody and mama talking about Black Panther. Everybody. There's a plethora of videos, blogs, newspaper articles, press releases, memes, you name it. It's all over the place. This was like the best marketing and promotion that I've ever seen of any type of venture. I don't care if it was music, a play, a football game. I mean, they promoted the hell out of this thing. And word of mouth did its thing with so many people feeling connected to this movie, which made history on many levels. This is the first time ever that you've seen black excellence on a TV screen. I've never seen black excellence to this magnitude before. So I'm so glad that our youth are, especially the little ones, elementary, middle school, high school, even college, got a chance to see their ancestors' stories on the TV screen. I know it wasn't exactly, well, actually it was a fictional movie, but then again, a lot of components of it was nonfiction. So if you are quote-unquote conscious, then there's a lot of things that you appreciated about the movie. Now I'm going to talk about a few of those things that I witnessed, that I saw, that I'm like, wow, So I know only people who know their African history and world history was really African history, true African history, not none of that slave trade stuff. Not that that wasn't true, but what happened and what was happening in our country, our countries, because Africa is a continent, what happened in our countries before the slave trade, the slave Atlantic trade, So, all right, for starters, one of the biggest things that I realized and noticed, if you read my book, 7 Types of Queen's King Desire, then you know what I'm talking about. Bas. They called the African goddess Bas in the movie, but you can also hear it as Bastet. I spelled it in my book, 7 Types of Queens, as Bastet. Now, Bastet is an Egyptian, or you can say Kemetan, all black land, Kemetan goddess. She's the one. She represents as a protector and nurturer, and also she's a majestic person. So the people of Wakanda, they not necessarily worship, but they gave reverence to Bastet. Now, in my book, 7 Types of Queens, I have a whole chapter dedicated to Bastet, the Black Cat theory. So I'm not going to get to that subject too deep as far as the contents of that chapter. But definitely, I'm going to make another video because I never actually did a video about Bastet. And I've been wanting to do it. I just completely forgot about it. And watching Black Panther, that's one of the first things you see in the movie was the Black Panther, which really isn't a Black Panther because it isn't actually a Black Panther in the world. What you see, the Black Panther, is actually a black leopard. It's a Mennonized panther, or a leopard. Now, if you look closely at the leopard, the black leopard, you see the spots. You see that leopards have. Leopards are the most majestic animals in the wildlife. As a matter of fact, I remember watching something on the Netflix documentary on animals, and they were saying that these cats, these big cats, are the rarest cats to ever be filmed because there are not too many of them. They're rare and they're beautiful, and the most powerful cat, pound for pound, out of the big cats, which is the tiger, the lion, and of course the leopard. Now, besides that, I did not see any mention or any signs of the Ankh symbol. And the reason why I'm happy about that is because whenever you have people referring to the greatest achievements of black people or the African civilization as a whole, we always reference to Kemet. You know, I have tons of books in my office. I guess you can see the bookcase back there. There's a few books up there on Kemet. Most of my books on Kemet, Ethiopia, which is Kush, are in my living room. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of them reference to Kemet, you know, and as we speak right now, there are tons of videos on that subject, on who were the Kemetans, where did they come from, you know, what made them so powerful, how did they come up with all these wonderful inventions and build all the pyramids. And truth be told, the pyramids actually started not in Kemet. Kemet was a combination of geniuses from all over Africa, and they came to that land, which we call Egypt today, because of the way the Nile River flowed, and it was just so lust. It was lush, a lot of lushful territory, grass and trees and plants and wildlife and fish. You know, you can make a living out there. Plus, you have all of the gold mines and diamond mines and all that other stuff up there. So it attracted a lot of attention. That's why Kemet became so great. That's why so many African scholars, Dr. Kaba, Dr. Francis Fitz Welsing, Dr. Boris Shango, Dr. Diop, you know, Isa Hillard, you know, Anthony Browder, you know, just to name a few. Browder, him and his daughter. And shout out to them for the great work they're doing in Kemet as far as the first black people to do excavating in Egypt. The first, I mean, they funded themselves, literally funded themselves. It cost on the low end $10,000 a month, and that's cheap. You know, according to him, that's on the cheap end because they recycle a lot of things. They're not using a big workforce, and they always have a lot of volunteers that rotate every year. They go to Kemet for the past 10 plus years. So shout out to Anthony Browder and the Browder Files. You and your daughter, you all are doing great works. I just had to say that right quick. So anybody who knows them, tell them King Kevin said what's happening. Now another thing I want to say about the movie, and before I even continue, I want to get back to the whole Ankh thing. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we talk about African greatness, we always refer to the Ankh. And we are fighting right now, not all of us, but people are fighting to keep that history as African history, because as we speak, literally 2018, March 1st, as we speak, they are ruining the paintings that's on the pyramid walls. They are lightening the color. So when you have the black pharaohs, what they're doing is they're making them white. You know, making them pale skin. How can you be in Africa and be pale? You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. You know, this is the land of the blacks. People are gonna get dark skin, blacker, but they want you they want to take away our history. And so Black Panther did a great job in reinforcing our history without even making reference to Egypt, you know, or Kemet. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to stand on their own. To this day, there's a movie called Gods of Egypt. Or Gods of, that's what it's called, right? Gods of Egypt. And in that movie, they had a budget of $140 million, right? Now, the movie only made $150 million worldwide. They only made a $10 million profit. As a matter of fact, for you movie buffs out there, if you know about movies, and if you don't know, when a movie has a budget, let's say, for instance, Black Panther had a budget of $200 million. They are expected to make $600 or more million in order to be considered a profit. If they don't make 3 times the amount of money, because they have to pay back all the loans, the investors, the advertisement, you know what I'm saying, the actors and actresses. If they don't make 3 times the amount of the money, it is considered a failure. Gods of Egypt was considered a failure because they have a movie on African history. You know, Egypt is in Africa. We all can agree with that, right? and you have only one black actor. And guess who that black actor was? And God bless him, because years later, he becomes the star in Black Panther. Chad Hardwick, that's his name, correct? Chadwick Boseman, that's his name, Chadwick Boseman. He is the star in Black Panther, and he also played in Gods of Egypt. And he said himself, out his own words, that unfortunately, a lot of people won't pay worldwide. A lot of people won't go to the movies to watch a film of black actors. You know, it hasn't been done. That's what he said in the article that I read. That he was speaking with someone being interviewed, and I was like, well, I do kind of feel him, because it's never been done. People are always saying that, you know, black people won't go to theaters worldwide to watch a black film, so they're not going to put that kind of money into it. Black Panther shattered that. They have made over $710 million already. Now, by the time March is over with, I estimate that this movie will make close to $1 billion, if not surpass $1 billion. Now it's shattered all kinds of records. I mean, it was they sold the most tickets online ever. One of the biggest opening weekends. I mean, they came out the gate with $240-something million being made at the box office. Really 360 worldwide. They already surpassed that $200 million budget. Now, the director, who's a black guy, he may have been the director, but he wasn't a producer. So that's the one thing that a lot of people have a problem with, that the movie was not produced by a black company or by a black woman or man. Which I feel him on that, because at the end of the day, that's where the real money goes to, is the producer, the producers. Whether it's 1 or 2 or 10, well, it's really normally 1 to 3 producers to a film. And I still feel like the movie was a success. You know what I'm saying? This was something that no one ever thought would happen. Just like we never thought we'd have a black President Barack Obama, and a beautiful Michelle Obama to his side. We actually had a film that not only portrayed black people of excellence, but what Africa would have looked like, or would look like, if it wasn't interrupted by the savages, by the devils of Europe. You know, not just Europe, but Asia as well, and Arabia. I mean, so many people just came and pillaged Africa for its abundance of wealth and resources. And that's why that vibranium in the movie, if you haven't seen it, that's why they hid it. They didn't want people to know, because if the world knew that they had this powerful mineral with steel within their country, that it will be exploited. You know, you'll have all kind of enemies coming in to try to take it. Now, that vibranium was so powerful that it could defend Wakanda, but also what Killmonger did. Well, I'm not gonna get to that if you haven't seen it, but what Killmonger did, which I do like what he represented what every warrior, every man with a warrior, every woman with a warrior spirit in them would have done if they had the ability to protect their people. If they could, we could defend our land and help, you know, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora around the world. We'll do that. We would have sent them weapons, send them money. Defend your land. Let's unite. Let's make it happen. That's what he was trying to do. But, you know, the king in the movie did not want that to happen, because it will cause a global war. That's how much we are being exploited around the world. This will cause a global war, because we would literally defend ourselves to the death. And that's what our ancestors represented. And I know Shaka Zulu, or the Zulu nation, would have been proud. I know the homie queens, the Amazon queens, which I want to get into that as well. They would have been proud. All our ancestors who died, Queen Nzinga, will be proud if they had seen this, because our kids, our children got to see us at a place of excellence. And the technology, oh my God, I love the technology. You know, this movie actually changed the narrative of how we can write our future, which you guys know I have a reading program coming up called Through Our Lens, and we helping the students write their future. You know, we helping the children write their future instead of the criminal justice system. This movie, we grew up watching Roots. You know, I'm 38. I just turned 38 February 7th. And I thank God for being alive. But growing up, I got to see movies like Roots, all kind of different slave narratives. But our children today got to see Black Panther. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of people, even, just to give a shout out to Big Boy from Outkast, he rented a whole theater, and just for retired old folks who are in hospice to go and watch Black Panther. Some little girl, I forgot what state she was from, she started a GoFundMe, so that all the kids in the neighborhood could go watch Black Panther. That's how much, I've never seen that like it. I wish I would have seen the opening of Black Panther. Everybody in there, the dashikis, there were DJs in the movie theaters. There were African performances. There were red carpet events. This was a beautiful thing that people really went all, and it just shows you what we can do when we go all out to support our people. We can do that, but we pick and choose who we want to support, which is cool. You got to do that. But I'm a true believer, if you believe in what this individual is doing, whether you know them or not, if you believe in what they're doing, it's going to improve and help the community by all and any means necessary. Support that cause. Support that vision. Now, let me get back into the whole dashiki thing. Now, Black Panther made it cool to be black again. It truly made people happy to actually wear the African garments, which I love, because we need that. Now, I wear dashikis all the time for the past several years, and at some events, even one time I was at an event, and this one lady says, a black sister said something, in regards to, oh, what's all that? Because I'm wearing a dashiki, you know what I'm saying? I love my culture. I told her straight up, I love my people. I know my ancestors. I know what they represented. You know what I'm saying? I know that wearing this makes some people uncomfortable, and that's good. I want you to be uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, then you need to get comfortable with your own skin. You know what I'm saying? You need to get comfortable with your own identity. And so I want people to feel to feel my presence, and when they see me, to feel the presence of my ancestors, my righteous ancestors. Just because it's ancestors does not mean they were righteous. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother thing. Now, what I need to go back over again. Now, people are gonna be saying I'm black and I'm proud. You can say that you're black and you're proud, but do not say you're black and you're proud and you're not showing black on black love, because that's not being black and proud. Black and, you know what I'm saying, black and proud is showing black on black love, uplifting your fellow sister, uplifting your fellow brother. And that's what this movie represented, because it was black people working in unity. You see the technology going on, the fancy cars, the machinery, the watches, the beads, the Black Panther suit was off the chain. And it kind of touched on, some issues going on in Africa, and how they would have done something different to help alleviate that situation. And I love that, because that's the possibility that we have in us if we choose to use our minds and our hearts and unite together for a common cause to uplift and improve our people. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, like Mr. Jordan, the Killmonger, who played Killmonger, he said in the movie, bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who chose to jump overboard than to live a life of bondage. And I feel him on that, because in total, there's estimated 300 to 600 million Africans died during the African Holocaust, the slave trade. They never talk about that. They always talk about the Jewish Holocaust, who might have maybe 2 or 3 million people died in it. Not saying that that's not horrific. Of course, that's one too many. But when you, in comparison, you have 300 to 600 million people died. They don't even know how many jumped overboard, because in the cargoes, less than half of those people ever survived those trips from Africa to the different islands, whether it was in Brazil to the Caribbean, Haiti, Jamaica, Bahamas, or even into the colonies. They never made it. Either the ship could sink, the people would jump overboard, or they died. It was some horrific things. There's a book called The Black Odyssey. It's a powerful book. And if you ever want to know the complete experience of our ancestors, so you can understand their pain and why we should never forget and just leave it, because the past is very important in the present, because the present dictates the future. That's why we need to go back into the past. Sankofa, which is African proverbs. One must go back to where they come from to give back. And so, that being said, I wanted you guys, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the whole thing, and the homie queens, the Wakanda warrior queens. I love that because they literally resurrected the homie African queens, which is today's Benin, Africa, which is located in West Africa, which is where my ancestors are from. You know what I'm saying? Haitian ancestors are from. If you're, if you're Haitian out there, and you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, research it. That's the homie Dahomey. Now, this warrior kingdom of women. These women were resilient. You know, they had to vow that they would remain virgins as long as they were a soldier protecting the kingdom. They had to also decapitate people heads and bring the Europeans' heads and their genitals when they caught them. I mean, Europeans wrote about these queens. French colonized that area eventually, but they wrote about how terrified they were when they met these queens. These ladies were fierce with the long spears. That's where the Wakanda, the Wakanda queens, that's where they got the idea from, was from this actual people of their homie. I believe this was 16th century. But don't take my word for it. Go research, okay? So, I thank you all for watching this video. If you haven't seen Black Panther, I'm going back to watch it again, to be honest with you, this weekend. I'm going to go watch it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions, please leave a comment below. Want more information about me, or how we can, build that, the powers of our ancestors. How we can use the history to uplift each other and support one each other. That continuity, we need that. That camaraderie, we need that. We need to elevate each other so we can raise our consciousness, because that's what this move represented. Uplifting our consciousness, not forgetting our ancestors in Africa, the African diaspora, in the Caribbean, throughout the United States. Thank you. Be blessed. Be encouraged. I'm King Kevin Dorival. Please subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Leave a comment. Much love. Peace and blessings. And till the next time.